Sarah's prayer was answered through benevolence. One of the most fascinating truths in the Bible is that God answers prayers in ways we do not always expect. Sometimes his answer comes through a direct miracle. Sometimes it arrives through a process. But many times, God chooses to answer our prayers through the benevolence of others. Sarah's story beautifully reveals how God can use human kindness as the pathway for divine intervention. Her experience teaches us that benevolence is more than an act of generosity. It is often the tool God uses to release blessings into the lives of those who pray in faith. Sarah longed deeply for something she could not achieve on her own, much like many of us today. She prayed, hoped, and waited. She trusted that God had heard her, even though she did not know how he would respond. But when God finally stepped into her situation, he did not send an angel in a pillar of fire. He did not speak from a cloud, nor did he shake the earth with a loud voice. Instead, he moved through people. He stirred the heart of someone who became the vessel through which her blessing would flow. The answer she had prayed for came wrapped in human kindness. The Bible gives several examples of how God uses benevolence as a channel for his works. The Shunammite woman in 2 Kings 4 welcomed Elisha with generosity, and her hospitality opened the door to a blessing she never imagined, a child she had long desired. Dorcas in Acts 9 became known for her good works and kindness. When she died, the widows stood around Peter, showing him the garments she had made for them. Her benevolence spoke so loudly that God restored her life through the hands of the apostle. The widow of Zarephath shared her last meal with Elijah, and in return, God provided for her throughout an entire famine. These stories remind us that benevolence is not small or insignificant. It carries spiritual weight and can draw God's attention in powerful ways. Sarah's experience follows this same pattern. Her prayer was not answered in a distant, mystical way. Instead, God stirred someone to help her. A heart opened, compassion flowed, and through that act of benevolence, God delivered the answer she had been waiting for. This reminds us that God often works through people. He touches their hearts, aligns their steps, and uses them as instruments to bring relief and hope to those who have been crying out to him. Many believers expect God's answers to fall from the sky, but very often, his answers walk toward us in the form of people whose hearts he has touched, people whose kindness becomes a physical expression of God's love. That is why Hebrews 13:16 teaches us not to forget to do good and to share with others, because God is pleased with such sacrifices. When God is pleased, his favor flows and his blessings follow. Sarah's story teaches several lessons. First, your miracle may be tied to someone's kindness. God may use a small gesture from a willing heart to